Hello, this is Benjamin Fulford speaking on October 2nd, 2025. As we are all aware now, there is a serious crisis going on in Washington, D.C., and I'm hearing from multiple intelligence sources that U.S. President Donald Trump is no longer with us, and this is why we are getting this very bizarre behavior. Here, let me read you a message I got sent by U.S. military intelligence. Trump has been compromised. The deep state is holding something that will bring his presidency to an end, threatening to release it if he does not comply with their demands. And we got the same confirmation of this from MI6. And by the way, MI6 now has a new top as of October 1st, and I've heard that this will lead to a lot of big changes in the Five Eyes. But the gathering of the U.S. 800 admirals and generals in Washington, D.C. for a bizarre rant by both Trump and this reality TV actor pretending to be Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, was kind of the last straw that broke the camel's back for a lot of people. But if you don't think Donald Trump has been compromised, then there's no way you can explain his actions other than outright criminality, because the thing that really got to me is he had dinner with Albert Bourla of Pfizer, and suddenly he offers Pfizer $70 billion taxpayer money to make mRNA vaccines in the United States, and he promised that he would protect them from any legal repercussions of what they're doing. So, this is a company that was engaged in mass murder of more than 20 million people around the world, and a very large number of Americans too, not to mention making all these people sick. And he should be in jail for war crimes. Instead, Trump is offering him $70 billion to make more of these poisonous chemicals to inject into Americans. Think about that. Why would he do something like that? It does not make sense. Now, the other thing, of course, is his continual pandering to Israel. And I'd like you to watch the first 1 minute and 3 seconds of this video, and you'll see what I mean.
During the 1980s, Benjamin Netanyahu became good friends with American real estate developers Charles Kushner and Fred Trump. Kushner's son, Jared, went on to marry Fred's granddaughter, Ivanka Trump. Jared has been talking about the valuable real estate in Gaza for a few years.
In Gaza's waterfront property, it could be very valuable.
In May of 2024, the Jerusalem Post publishes an image of Netanyahu's Gaza 2035 vision. In October of 2024, candidate Trump said that Gaza could be better than Monaco.
It could be better than Monaco. It has the best location in the Middle East, the best water, the best everything. It is the best. I've said it for years. I mean, it could be the most beautiful place. The weather, the water, the whole thing, the climate, it could be so beautiful.
So basically, Trump is involved in a genocide for the sake of a real estate development project involving his son-in-law. Again, that's not what a president of the United States is supposed to be doing. This is out and out war crimes, and it's not something that should be allowed. And the other thing, of course, is that lots of people are noticing that Trump is showing signs of senility and making mistakes, repeating himself. They're trying to censor this, but there's something very, very wrong with him. His speech at the United Nations was an international embarrassment for the United States. So what we have now is Donald Trump is either compromised or has been replaced and is obeying a known criminal and Satanist by the name of Benjamin Netanyahu. In the real world, Netanyahu should be dragged out of his office and hung from the nearest lamppost. he is a mass murderer, and he's continuing his mass murder, and he brags repeatedly about controlling Donald Trump and the U.S. military. That's not what the military is supposed to be about. Now, the other thing that's going on is clearly the United States is bankrupt, and that's why the government is shut down. Not because of some kind of fake fight between the Democrats and the Republicans, who are all part of the same team, as you know. And it's not going to happen, okay? This time I'm hoping they will really shut it down. Now, I'll repeat again because it's very important. We do have an offer of unlimited financing for the United States to rebuild its infrastructure and to completely write off all debt, public and private, as a one-off deal for the American people, and then build a new capital somewhere in the Midwest as a condition for getting rid of the criminal cesspool that Washington, D.C. has degenerated to. It is now the world's pariah state. It's the leading source of terrorism and drug dealing, human trafficking. It is a black hole. It is a stain on the planet Earth, and there's been a collective decision that this has to end. And I'm hearing it will end. And any leader who's opposed to it is definitely not, a real leader, but rather a compromised agent. And I want to show you what a citizen journalist did in Romania to the Romanian president, because that's what any person with a camera, with a phone, can, if they see one of these people in public, turn on your camera and confront them like this person did. Now watch this little clip.
Slugă! Slugă soroșistă! Te-ai făcut de râs în fața la catedrală acolo. Nu știam ce control să o alergi.
See, any of us can do it. We must not let these people wander around in public as if they're lording it over us and there's nothing wrong and we don't know. Because we all know now, or maybe a tiny percentage of people who are either brainwashed beyond hope or a part of the satanic control grid, one or the other. But the rest of us, we definitely do not want these people to stay in power. It's just not right, okay? And the corruption is very, very thorough, and it's right throughout the top. Take a look at this clip now. Here's another one I want to show you. It's just the wife or the ex-wife of Prince Andrew, Sarah Ferguson, offering, to sell access to him.
A British tabloid newspaper has released this video of the Duchess of York, apparently plotting to sell access to her ex-husband, Prince Andrew. The deal was caught on tape with an undercover camera.
Is that a deal?
Yeah.
She claims she can introduce the reporter to the prince.
£500,000 when you can, to me, open doors.
According to the newspaper, Prince Andrew, the second son of the Queen and fourth in line to the throne, knew nothing of the claims. But on tape, Ferguson insists she discussed the deal with her former husband.
And as Andrew said, listen, if he's going to be kind enough to want to play, then Andrew will play.
Okay, so, what sort of system of government do we have here? Where, we have these unelected so-called royals, trying to get money out of people for whatever, probably to spend on adrenochrome. But this is not right, okay? And also, another thing I'd like to point out, this has, come up again, but, the fact is that there still hasn't been any accounting for crimes like 9/11, which was a mass murder of American people to justify the mass murder of Iraqi people, and nothing's been done about it. But here you can see U.S. network TV airing once. This clip aired only once after 9/11, but it's saying very clearly a plane did not hit the Pentagon.
outside the Pentagon, CNN's military affairs correspondent Jamie McIntyre. And Jamie, you got very close to where that plane went down.
That's right, Judy. A while ago, I walked right up to next to the building. Firefighters were still trying to put out the blaze. The fire, by the way, is still burning in some parts of the Pentagon. And I took a look at the huge gaping hole that's in this sideway. But from my close-up inspection, there's no evidence of a plane having crashed anywhere near the Pentagon. The only site is the actual side of the building that's crashed in, and as I said, the only pieces left that you can see are small enough that you could pick up in your hand. There are no large tail sections, wing sections, a fuselage, nothing like that anywhere around.
The reason I'm bringing this up again, it's because we need to hold their feet to the fire over all these things. The government is so corrupt that it's not even a government anymore. It's a bunch of actors working for a bunch of Satanists who are mostly headquartered in Israel and Ukraine or Switzerland these days. Now here's another one that really disturbs me. Did you know that FBI Director Kash Patel's girlfriend is a Mossad agent? Take a look at this clip.
Wouldn't it be crazy if Kash Patel's girlfriend was a Israeli intelligence officer? Yes, meet Alexis Wilkins. She is the CEO of an organization called PragerU. No, it's not a university. It's just like a lobbying group that promotes American values. Yeah, fuck it right. But here, let's do the background here. She was born in Los Angeles, but moved to Israel at a very young age. Miss Marissa did. Yes, her original name was Marissa Straight. But yeah, and she did her primary education in Israel and then served in military intelligence, Unit 820 of the IDF. Okay, for those of you unaware, Unit 8200 is the most advanced global cyber team probably in the world. So, no big deal. So I'm sure she really does love Kash for who he is, and she's definitely not his handler. And how dare you even suggest such a thing?
So you can see, the United States government has been occupied by a hostile foreign force, and it's time to do something about it. And I am hearing that there is a move among the generals, among the intelligence community, to finally do something about it. They were waiting for October. They're waiting for the new head of MI6. But we have to do it. Otherwise, they're going to try to kill us again and again and again. And American people, a lot of you have guns, and you're allowed to use them to defend yourself. And if these people are trying to kill you and your family, which they are, then you're allowed to defend yourself. This is the law. Here you can watch, by the way, a little interesting thing that happened in Florida. Watch this sheriff talk about how you can now carry guns in the open like cowboys in Florida. And then take a look at this guy doing just that. We need armed citizens at this point because the government is not going to defend you. You're going to have to defend yourselves.
Hello everyone, Sheriff Grady Judd here. The First District Court of Appeal in the state of Florida has ruled that our law prohibiting open carry is not valid. That's right. So effective September 25th, if you open carry a firearm in Florida in a public place, it's okay.
So, again, a lot is going on under the surface. I'm hearing many things, but we need to push this. And if you're a general or you're an admiral, ask yourself, did you swear to defend the United States, or did you swear to fight for Israel and for real estate developers who use genocide to seize property from innocent people? So, folks, it really is time. We've got to do something about it. This has gone on way too long. We need to end this now. Okay, well, that's what I have to say for myself today. Now I'd like to answer questions from readers and viewers.
Hi, Ben. We have our first question for today. It says, I haven't found any proof that Erica Kirk was involved in child trafficking. I believe this to be 100% false information. Here is one reference I found, and there are many more if you look. Quote, Where it all began, the roots of Erica Kirk Romania controversy appear to lie in the misuse of documents and other scandals. A blurry clip from a 2001 Harrods article about organ trafficking was widely circulated online as proof. The problem is that Erica's ministries did not exist until 2011. In 2001, she was only 12 years old. Fact checkers stressed that her charities were wrongly linked to earlier scandals involving evangelical groups in Constanta and Tendaria. Why do you think they are now trying to discredit her name?
Well, didn't you notice her making the satanic hand sign at her husband's funeral? Doesn't that tell you something? You know, this lady is definitely not qualified to be some kind of mass leader. I mean, I'll look more into the details, but there's no doubt about it. This lady, through her words and actions, is part of some kind of satanic network. And the Romanian stuff, you know, it was passed on to me. I can double check it, but certainly that's what the information I have at present. And if it changes, I'll change it. If I find something to contradict it, I'll investigate. I'll put out a correction. But there can be no doubt that Erica Kirk is not what she's being put out to be. In any case, you shouldn't even be paying attention to this Kirk psyops anymore. All right, just don't even give these people any airtime. Don't even talk about it anymore. It's so obviously fake and designed to manipulate us into fighting each other that you should just ignore it. So it's an Israeli psyops. Don't pay attention. Next question.
Hi, Ben. Can you please explain what you mean when you refer to the term Khazarian Mafia? What constitutes the Khazarian Mafia?
The original and more accurate term I was using is called Sabbatean Frankist Jews. This is a group that basically they openly say it's up to them, it's up to carry out the end times prophecies of the Bible, to kill 90% of humanity and enslave the rest. And I stopped using Sabbatean Frankist Jews because it just didn't click with people, and I started calling them Khazarian Mafia because I don't want Jews who have nothing to do with this to be, you know, smeared with the same brush as these criminals. And that's why the phrase Khazarian Mafia is being used. And these people, they don't worship God or Yahweh, they worship Baal, otherwise known as Molech, Set, or Satan. And they really are trying to kill us or enslave us. Next question.
Hi, Ben. The U.S. Was supposed to be bankrupt at least 100 times, yet it still exists and stands. How is this occurring, and where are they finding this money? Also, the Charlie Kirk story, Snake Eye 1988, Nicolas Cage movie, is definitely a psyops, as you reported. No question about it. Now, Carney, he is bankrupting Canada for sure. Affordable housing for $3.2 million per house is a joke. Of course, his company Brookfield is profiting hugely from the suffering of Canadians. What would be his next move? What can we expect from Carney? Digital ID, just like we are now seeing in the UK. More taxes. What are your thoughts?
Carney, we've reached out to Carney repeatedly, tried to make him an offer to have Canada make a friendly takeover of the United States and build a new capital somewhere in the Midwest, and he is ignoring our requests. We've come to the conclusion that he is being blackmailed and compromised and should not be in charge of the country. As far as the U.S. government always being able to kick the can down the road, each time they use some trick or another to get money. Sometimes they steal Japanese pensions. Sometimes they fool the Chinese into handing over more. Sometimes they steal gold from somewhere. But this time we're hoping, and everybody, we got to do our best to make sure it happens, that we really do bankrupt them this time. Because the Washington, D.C. Regime is a curse on this planet. They're the source of terrorism, war, drug dealing, human trafficking. They need to be shut down, and I've repeatedly asked the Chinese and everybody else, do not finance them. At present, it seems they're being financed by Japan, the UK, and by printing money in a circle, but it won't last. they've been doing it for a long time. We're hoping this time it really does go bankrupt. But the whole world is sick and tired of the rogue regime in Washington, D.C., which does not represent the American people, as the American people have already figured out finally. It doesn't matter if you call them Republican or if you call them Democrat, they all work for the same team. Next question.
Hi, Ben. Question I had today is, how is Trump not compromised? He was Epstein's best friends for years, but however, considering you already mentioned Trump is compromised, I'm going to change it a little bit. You did mention he was compromised.
Declare martial law, but this isn't about expelling illegal aliens. This is about turning the United States into a fascist dictatorship. Be aware of this. The real enemies are okay. The illegal immigrants are a problem that was paid for by Soros and those people, and they do need to be shut down. But we also need to go after into Israel and arrest Netanyahu and put an end to this horror show. But I'm also hearing they might carry out regime change in Western Europe to remove the Nazis there, like Ursula von der Leyen. Let us see what happens. But I have been told everyone was waiting for October. October is here, and let's make it count this year. Let's try to really finish them off. This has gone on far too